So today we have the G Daddy. He's going to break down what it takes to scale a multifamily portfolio and put IMA back into his highest and best use. Hello, everybody. Jake and Gino here, and today we're discussing what it takes to scale a multifamily portfolio. Gang, when we started out in 2011, we implemented what academia, and business leaders commonly refer to as the IMA mentality. Think solopreneur. The IMA mentality goes a little something like this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do everything. I'm going to cut the grass. IMA leased the units. IMA did the financing. IMA was a bookkeeper. IMA was a poor jack of all trades and a master of none. So what was IMA missing? Scalability, systems, a future possibly. So today we have the G Daddy. He's going to break down what it takes to scale a multifamily portfolio and put IMA back into his highest and best use. So welcome, Mr. G Daddy. Shine some light on this.
Mr. Stenziano, thank you for the warm welcome. And I am the poster child for the IMA mentality. You're looking at it right here. I had one restaurant for over 20 years. I'm going to wash the dishes. I'm going to cook the food. I'm going to pack the food. I'm going to serve the food. I'm going to go throw out the garbage. I'm going to sweep the floor in the kitchen. I was the epitome of IMA. And guess what? IMA got what he deserved. One restaurant, a lot of stress, no wealth building, and uncertainty. And when I met Jake, we were still the IMA guys. I'm going to cut the grass. I'm going to do the books on QuickBooks. I'm even going to edit the podcast.
Oh, those were the days.
I mean, the bane of Jake's week was every week he had to edit a podcast on Thursday, and we were too stupid to realize, time out, we're trying to scale businesses, and this comes from limiting beliefs. So for everyone listening to this, I challenge everyone here. What are your limiting beliefs? What's holding you back? Challenge those limiting beliefs, because I was growing up in an immigrant household. My father's favorite saying in Italian, for those of you Italians out there, l'occhio del padrone ingrassa il cavallo, which simply means the horse's eye, the owner's eye fattens the horse. So basically, you're taking care of your horse, you're going to fatten that horse. But what happens when you leave the horse? The horse dies. So in my mind, I equated that I needed to stay at the restaurant, and I could only do it. I could only wash the dishes as well as nobody else. I could only make that chicken parm. I couldn't teach anybody else out there, and I wasn't able to grow. I was stuck there. I wasn't living my sole purpose. I wasn't adding value to enough people until I realized that about 600 units with Jake, and coincidentally enough, we shed the IMA mentality. We started out there, but as you continue to grow in life and you continue to grow your businesses, you have to leave the person that you were back when you first started. At about 100 units, Jake and I realized, hey, we can start hiring property managers. We can start hiring maintenance techs. And then at around 600 units, we're like, we need scaling up. We need coaching. And we did it. And what really led to the revolution of being able to scale up to I think, over 1,500 units in less than 5 years was our core values and our mission statement. And there's three things that I want everyone to write down. I've spoken about this before, but it really comes down to people, systems, and culture. And as far as culture goes, you have to hire for culture. You have to figure out what your culture is in your company. I didn't have a culture at the restaurant. I was trying to start a business to really provide for my family. That's not what a business is, everybody out there. If that's what it is, then you're a solopreneur and you're going to be broke like I was. A business is created to provide value for customers. That's basically what it comes down to. The more value they provide, the more renters you have, the more units you own, the more money you're going to make. That's the bottom line. That's the reality of life. And it didn't sink into me until I met Jake and we started scaling up our portfolio. Culture is so important. I think people is right up there. reading all these great books and all these biographers and even listening to the gentleman from Southwest, he cherishes his employees. He puts his employees above his customers because he knows if the employees are really cranking out and doing really amazing work, those employees have the mission. They know where they're going. They know what their sole purposes are for the company. They know what the culture of the company is. They fit in that company culture, and they really work on that, and they embody the spirit and where they're going. They're going to take care of the customers. And then ultimately the customers are going to take care of the shareholders or of the owners. Many times in business, it's the other way around. Most businesses worry about profitability first. The hell with the employees. We got to take care of the customers. The employees are last. We've realized that you need to have great, motivated employees who fit your culture. You build a culture from within. You're painting that destination of where you want to go. And with Jake and Gino, we want to become the white glove service of multifamily. And one of our pillars is people first. So when there's an issue, we need to take care of that customer. And when Jake and when we worry about profitability, we're not thinking about the profitability. Profitability is basically an applause from your customers. That's what it really comes down to. Profit is the fuel for us. It's not the destination. That's what part of what my culture is in this company. The more people that we can serve at a high level, teaching them to buy multifamily with over 50,000 units right now, the more profitable we will become and the more sustainable this business will be. And that just feeds itself. The employees get more excited. The customers get more excited. The customers get more excited. The employees get more excited. And then it just starts this chain reaction. And then ultimately the profitability will come from within. Don't start out by thinking about profitability. Start out by thinking about serving your employees and serving your customers. And systems, ultimately, the last I'll touch on systems real quick. We could have hours and hours about systems. But when you think about systems, everybody, they don't have to be super complicated. When people walked into the restaurant, was there a specific way that we greeted them? I know Chick-fil-A does. My pleasure. We didn't have a system for greeting a customer. When a customer called on a telephone, did we have a certain way to answer it? Hello, Gino's. How can I help you? Hello, Gino's. It's a lovely day out there. I didn't have a system for picking up a phone.
Hello, and thank you for calling Rand Property Management. We're here to help.
I mean, everything's changed. Did we have a system on how we handled chargebacks on a credit card? Very simple systems. You build it once and you build it and it's replicatable. Get it out of your head and put it onto paper. And then from there, you start building systems and you start having people employed in running that system. But as a mom and pop, I'm a person, I need to control everything. It really comes down to ego and humility, thinking that you can do it better than everybody else and wanting to be there. And you're ultimately going to get burned out. That's not how you build something that's legacy, that's sustaining. I want to be able to have these assets and be able to hand them down to my children. But if my kids don't know how the business is run, if we don't have it laid out, then there's no legacy in that. And that's what ended up happening with the restaurant. The restaurant, there was one, couldn't build systems. How do you onboard an employee? Didn't know how to onboard an employee. Didn't really have an employee's manual that we utilized, right? Didn't know how to actually hold an
Here's
interview.
An apron. Get in the back.
Exactly. What do you want? How much you getting paid? Great. This is what you got to do. Here, and that's how you do it. So what I would say about systems, don't get overwhelmed about them, but start putting down things that you don't want to do. How do you run your bookkeeping? Get that out of your head and hire somebody to do the bookkeeping. If you're doing a podcast, do the podcast, create the content, but then once you're editing it, what are the things that you're doing that you're editing? Write them down and create a little Loom video or video on your computer and share that with somebody and take that off your plate. If you don't focus on people, the systems, and ultimately the culture, you are going to be the next mom and pop, and Jake and Gino or a Jake and Gino student is going to buy the deal from you.
Yeah, ultimately it comes down to being students of the game. We've hired a handful of these coaches for scaling, and it really comes down to, there's probably two that stand out the most. Scaling up Rockefeller Habits, we implemented the crap out of that into our property management company, and then the EOS and the entrepreneur operating system. We used quite a bit of that, and they have something called L10s, which is your weekly cadence in your meetings. So we love the two of those, and we've implemented them into our company. And the cool thing is now we have our own unique operating system within Rand Property Management that we share with all our Jake and Gino students, so that whether you're doing third-party property management, whether you're a property manager yourself, whether you're an asset manager just seeing over your portfolio, we've actually taken the best from all these systems and put it into ours, and it's actually part of what we teach. And I think a great way to find out more, we have an event coming up November 5th and 6th. It's the only event that we open up to to the public. It's in Orlando, Multifamily Mastery 5, and we're going to be teaching these different systems in the Manage Right component of the event. Love to have you there. You can get a ticket at jakeandgino.com/MM5 and learn more about what we're doing there. Gino, you had one more thing to say.
Couple things real quick, and I'll let you wrap it up. We interviewed Gino Wickman from EOS. Go onto the Jake and Gino channel. On our podcast, you'll see Gino Wickman on there. And we also interviewed Scaling Up, Andy Bailey. He was on our podcast as well. 2 phenomenal podcasts about scaling up. And also Brendan McGurnan about scaling a company. He wrote a phenomenal book.
I love that guy.
Let's go back to the Jake and Gino channel. Listen to those 3 podcasts. You'll get a ton of value from it. And I'll end it this way. You don't build a multifamily portfolio. You build people who help you build a multifamily portfolio. That's what I want you all around your vision board. You're not building the portfolio by yourself, but you're building people around you with systems to help you build that portfolio.
Book end it there. G-Daddy. Gang, as always, we believe in buying deals for the long term. Think in decades. I'm Jake. This is the G-Daddy, and we make it happen. We'll see you next time.
If you are looking to get involved in multifamily, this is where you need to be.
The team you've built is incredible.
There is no egos here. Everyone is always looking to help the other person.